This video is sponsored by Freely Give. If you need help with Drupal and AI, get in contact with us. So Drupal AI 1.2.0 Alpha 1 is out. It's ready to be tested. You can try it out. There's a lot of new features in it. It's not feature complete yet. There's gonna be bugs in it, but it's there, so you can start testing it. And I'm gonna showcase maybe the most important feature, at least that you see, and at least for agencies that works with heavy editorial workflows, and that's a module called Form Widget Actions that comes with the AI module now. And what this does is, I have a movie review content type here. I've just copied something and say that I want to add a subtitle to my movie review now. Then there's a button here. So what this is doing, it's contacting an automator where we have a business specific workflow where you could, in theory, when you click on this button, go out on the internet, Google, scrape websites, get PDFs, do a lot of this cool stuff that you can do with the automator. In this case, we're just asking it to create a subtitle. And this has, I think it has around 100 plugins of things it can do now. So I'm just going to showcase something completely else. Maybe you get, the images like this from a photographer. This doesn't mean anything. It's really bad SEO. We just click our rewrite file name. What's going to happen now is that the AI goes and looks at this image, reads this review, and thinks of an actual good file name for this. This is also added in 1.2.0. So this is an automator as well, which means if you have thousands of images on your website that has really bad file names, you can run the automator through them and it actually creates better file names for it. On the actual review, there is a edit summary. Well, there's a summary field here, right? No one ever fills it in. It just takes the first paragraphs. Yeah, well, no one. I never fill it in. Now I can click summarize. It's gonna look at this and create a summary for it. And here we go. We have a summary. And if I don't like it, I can just click again. It's gonna create another one. And these are based on my very specific prompts. Once again, I can go look at all the other content that I have on the website while I'm doing this. I can set up a really complex process happening in the background here. Last thing we want to do is generate or pick tags. So in this case, it says that it's science fiction and it's a dinosaur reboot, and it's basing this on this review. So how do we set this up? So let's get started. So the important thing is you get the alpha module then. 1.2.alpha1. I will show you that I have gotten that. You can see it here. I also have gotten token module and admin toolbar. Token is for the automator, admin toolbar is just to make it easier. So we're just gonna go ahead and create those. I will also say I have created a key already for OpenAI. I'm gonna use OpenAI in this case to showcase everything. So we install OpenAI automators, admin toolbar, and admin toolbar extra tools, and then the Form Widget Actions, which is the new module that we have that can trigger the automators. And when we have this done, the first thing we're gonna do is just turn on the OpenAI key here under OpenAI settings, and that makes OpenAI available for everything. And what I thought we would do in this case, we're gonna create a content type called movie review, and we're gonna, we get a body field from the start. I guess that's fine, but we should rename it. We call it review in this case. So we have a review. The next thing we want is a tagging field. So we're gonna take references, taxonomy term tags, and all right, this is available already. We're on a standard installation, so we can just reuse existing field tags. And same thing with image. We might want to have an image that describes some scene of the movie. So and then we're gonna create a field that is also let's see, should we take an optional? Let's take a number field in this case. No, let's take a selection list, integer, rating. So I mean, there is the rating field, there is an automator for it. We don't have yet though a form widget action for this, which is something that we would have to create then. And we do 5. I think that should be fine. And so actually I realized I can't use the list here. The reason for that is that what we're doing here is that when you're exposing something to the form widget action, and you're creating some kind of processor for it. So basically a processor. What should happen when you click on this button here on the entity form field? Any module can go in and say, hey, I want to be a processor here. I want to change something. But this then has to define which fields you're doing this on. So this is a plugin system where you create one of these, where you can say, you know, like this, that I am for the widget type text area with summary, and the field type text with summary. And we don't have one for list integer. By the time 1.2.0 is out, I hope we have one for every automator field that exists then. And I can also mention that since it's a plugin system, anyone can then connect to this, where they can create a processor. And this exists already for AI agents. It exists for the core module AI content suggestion, and also ECA has an integration in, well, so far 3.0, but I think it's going to come to 2.0 as well, where you can actually create a field widget action process using ECA that is completely custom. This means that you can set up really custom things without actually coding. If you want to code, you can also create a plugin. Say that you have a DAM or an API, for instance. You could have that when you add an ID from this DAM and click on a button, it gets this image, something like that. And this works on any complex field. It can get addresses, full address fields and stuff like that. So anyway, now we have then set up our entity with the fields and the interior. Now we could then go in and like save a movie review. So I'm just gonna, for the fun of it here, start creating a movie review. So oh, there's one thing I want to do. So I'm gonna upload an image without alt text. So I'm not gonna set it required because I'm gonna showcase what we can do. And what now we can do is then create the movie review. Superman 2020. Oh no, let's do something else first. Let's just order this because this makes no sense to order it. Is subtitle should come under, then yeah, the review is under the image, rating and tags comes last. So we will now save The review field we could maybe have made required, I guess. I'm gonna take something here, IGN. Sorry, IGN, I will copy and paste your review here. So some I have to copy and paste it in pieces because there's a lot of advertisement there. Let's just add the verdict because that will be interesting for the rating, of course. So let's just set a heading 4 there. So we save this. So we have our oops, the whole thing there became a heading, which is not great. Should be like this, and this should be a paragraph. No, that will not work. So then, so we have this. Now we're gonna start setting up things for the editor. So let's go to our manage fields, and we're gonna say, oh, there's one more thing I want to do. I want to already upload an image. So let me just find some image here. There we go. Put it home. So I just downloaded some image there, and I don't fill out the alt text now because that's what we want to add, right? So what I'm gonna do now is go to manage fields. On the image, we want to have a button that creates alt text in this case, and you might have seen the image, the AI alt text, the AI image alt text, the module is called. I'm co-maintainer there. It's cool and all. The problem with this, it can't actually take any context from what's happening around it, right? So that's what we're gonna do now. So we're gonna say that we want to use the advanced mode, which can use tokens then, because then we can put in stuff like the title here, for instance. Wait, let me see here. So we're gonna say look at this image and create an alt text that is under 100 characters long, so it doesn't get cut off by screen readers. And then we also say you will be given a title and a movie review as context. This is for a movie review website. Please make it quirky, because I know like that is what Total Film does, at least. They make like this quirky things where they write something funny around the image, right? Maybe that doesn't belong in the alt text. I just want to try it out now so you can see that it is based on the actual title in the body. Because what you will see otherwise is that we're using OpenAI in this case. So I'm just gonna say here, wait, right, I will explain this. So I've created the prompt that creates this, right? I'm gonna set field widget here. So what field widget as a automator worker does, it means it doesn't save it. And this means that you have to create a button that dynamically generates this. We're gonna take the default vision model in this case and use the image field, and we're gonna use an image style wide 1090. And what I want to test here, I was going to say this because our image model now is OpenAI, is that OpenAI is not allowed to actually tell which persons it sees. So if you try to ask it what persons are in an image in the API, it often refuses that. There are ways you can try to like get it to do it, but by default it doesn't do it. So now we have added the alt text on the image. So I forgot to say that you have the different automator types, so you can actually create the image. You can also, this is something we added in 1.2, you can rewrite the image file name. So in this case the file name was like Superman something, but say that the file name is dsc00025.jpg. This is bad for SEO, and you might have hundreds of this. So this is a place where you can use the automator to actually look at the image and rewrite the file name of the image. Rating, you should not use LLMs for this. I will just showcase it as an example. We use base mode in this case. We will just look at the review and say on a scale of 1 to 5, where 1 is bad and 5 is good, please set a rating for this review. And then, well, I can show you, there's these placeholders, so there's a lot. This is a lot simpler than talking. Once again, we're gonna set field widget. So the automator weight, that's for automation, that doesn't matter in this case, but it's important that you always say field widget if you don't want automation in this case. Then we're actually going to use the body as well. We have filled in the body, right? But there is one thing we didn't fill in the body, and that's the summary input. So there is actually now a new automator in 1.2 again for text summary, where we're gonna look at the review and say, write a summary for this review that is 2 to 3 sentences long. You can write movie review to give it some more context, right? Review, context again, just use field widget, and we have the review, subtitle, same thing here, that we use LLM text simple, base it on the review, write a subtitle that is not the name of the movie, that is under 250 characters and in 1 sentence, that explains their movie review. So, oh, I think you hear my Slack messages now. Oh, we just turned that off. We set field widget there as well. We don't want to extract anything. Oh, that's a bug fix we should do actually. It should be null by default. And then the last thing is tags. And here we have create reference entities if they do not already exist. And because of that, we can actually tell it to create stuff. So I'm just gonna actually copy this. So this is the default prompt for choosing category. Based on the context, create up to 2 categories from the category that fits the create 2 tags that fits the text that is a movie review. Make sure that one of them is genre, context. And now you might wonder, like, if it's just gonna make up stuff, it's gonna like say action and adventure and then maybe create a tag that's called action adventure. So what you can do then, field widget again, we can also say we all want them to be lowercase, but we can add this find similar tags. Then it's also, after it's trying to generate them, it's looking, do we have something that's similar, so it doesn't recreate them. So now we have created all that. So next thing I will say is maybe we don't need this UX. Maybe this should actually already be set up because you showed field widget actions, but this is 2 steps right now. So you have to go to manage form display and then on everything that you want to fill out, you have to click the cogwheel, and there will be field widget actions where you can say you want to add an action. You can create the button label, or you have to enable it as well. Add subtitle, we call this button, and which automator to use, because you could have multiple automators. We don't really have a good UI for that. That's an issue we have, but the example where you want to add the alt text but also change the file name, for instance, is possible. So you could add multiple field widget actions to any field, so you can have multiple buttons in there. So now we're gonna use the automator image. No, we're gonna use the automator alt text. That's what we added. Enable generate alt text, we call this, and we pick the image default. Do the same for the review. Then we say generate summary. Is that what we're gonna do here? Call the button summarize. You don't have to fill in that. There is a default value there, but it's nice to have personalized buttons, I guess. Number generator, enable, guess a rating, and you can probably think of an actual useful use case for the integer field. I hope I just took something you should not really do. So we're enabling generate pick tags, and click update, and we're gonna save this, and actually change of heart, I'm not gonna have it to rating. That's not a good thing. You can probably think of better ways of doing that. What you can do with the numeric field, I mean, you can extract numbers or something. Anyway, when we go to the Superman review now, then there are all these buttons all of a sudden, so we can just click them, add subtitle, and you see it actually creates some subtitle. You can click the generate alt text, and it's hopefully gonna say Superman. It does. That's not how Total Film would write it, but yeah, you get the idea. You can base it on other contexts, so you can create your perfect alt text in this case. So if we click edit summary here, you see there's nothing there. So if I click summarize, it's gonna be something there. And you see it has added a summary for you. And the thing also here then, as compared to automators does not run if the value is filled out. So I will just show something now. If I click save, you see the tags is not filled out. If I had a normal automator that's not a field widget, this would have been filled out when I save, but because we choose field widget action, it doesn't run. But the other cool thing is here then, if I'm not happy with this is maybe a bad example. You might be happy with part of it and you start rewriting it, typical human in the loop. But if it's really bad or if it's failing, you can just click again. And it doesn't care that there is actually something in there. It's gonna add something new again. And last thing we're gonna do then is generate pick tags. And you will see it's a new site. It created these tags. They didn't actually exist. So there's a superhero and cinematic universe, and we're gonna save this. They were lowercase because I set it to be lowercase. I guess superhero is the genre in this case. I can show you also if I click here again, it might, yeah, you see, it chooses superhero again because it searched for either superhero or something similar to superhero. So it doesn't generate stuff every time you do it. And then when you're happy, you can just save. And that is it. That is Form Widget Actions.